Story, once upon a time, one AI tried to do it all alone. It failed. Then, teamwork happened. Now, I know what you're thinking. AI is this lone genius in a box, right? But the future isn't a single brain. Nope, it's a digital boardroom. It is time to level up, study buddy. Let's build.
And hey, that's not just some fairy tale opening. It's literally the story of where AI is heading right now. We're moving past this idea of one single, all-powerful AI, and we're moving towards something that's way more powerful, a whole team of specialized agents all working together.
So why the big shift? Well, it's because we've kind of hit a wall. We've run smack into what you could call the monolithic struggle. And that's really just a fancy way of saying that one AI, no matter how smart it is, it just isn't enough for the really complex, juicy problems we want to solve.
Let's really break this down. So on one side, you've got the old way, the monolithic approach. That's one big language model trying to juggle everything. And on the other side, you have the multi-agent approach. Think of it like a team of specialists. It's really the difference between a solo musician trying to play the drums, guitar, and sing all at once versus a full-blown orchestra.
So what's the actual problem with that solo act? Well, these monolithic models, they really struggle with breaking down big tasks. It's a concept called unreasonable task decomposition. You ask an AI to build a website, and it just tries to do everything at once. Design, code, content, and it gets totally lost. This creates these super fragile chains of thought where just one tiny mistake can make the whole project come crashing down.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head, right? I mean, seriously, think about it. Would you hire one person to be the architect, the engineer, the construction crew, and the safety inspector for a skyscraper? No way! It's an insane amount of pressure, and those jobs require totally different skills. But that's exactly what we've been asking our AIs to do.
All right, so if the one AI to rule them all approach is the problem, what's the fix? Well, say hello to Microsoft AutoGen. This is the framework that actually builds that digital boardroom we've been talking about. It creates the space for these AI agents to team up and get things done right.
So what is AutoGen, really? At its heart, it's a system that lets different AI agents have a real conversation. So instead of just taking commands from a human, they can actually discuss a problem. They can delegate tasks to each other, and they can even review each other's work to nail the final goal.
Now this is where the real magic happens. It's all about this idea called AgentChat. This is the secret sauce. You see, one approach is a rigid, fixed sequence, very top-down. But AutoGen, it enables this free-flowing dialogue, this dynamic conversation. It's less like a scripted play and more like an improv comedy session. And that flexibility is what leads to some seriously creative problem-solving.
So, let's meet the team. Who's actually sitting around this digital boardroom table? Well, you can build any team you want, but a classic setup includes a coder, the one who actually writes the code. Then you have a reviewer, who's like a quality control expert, checking for bugs. And finally, a project manager, who keeps the whole thing on track. Each one has a clear role, just like in a human team.
Okay, but how do they actually work together? It's not just a free-for-all. They form what's called a mesh network, which really just means they can all chat directly with each other. They use these built-in thinking patterns like React to work through problems step by step, and they even critique their own ideas right there in the chat. They're basically having a live brainstorming session to find the absolute best path forward.
And maybe the best part of all this, you don't have to be some coding wizard to make this happen. AutoGen Studio gives you this awesome graphical, low-code interface. It lets you literally drag and drop to design how your agents will talk to each other. You can map out the whole workflow for your AI team visually. How cool is that?
And this all leads us to the most critical part of this whole thing, your role. With a framework like AutoGen, you're not just a prompter anymore. You're not just feeding lines to an AI. You become an orchestrator, a manager of a high-tech digital team. And this is a huge deal. It's a preview of how all of our jobs are going to evolve with AI.
All right, time for a little pop quiz. Let's see if you're ready for the big manager's chair. How many distinct agent roles are typically used in a basic, out-of-the-box AutoGen teamwork template? Think back to that digital boardroom. I'll give you a second.
The answer is 3. If you got that, nice. You're already thinking like an AI manager. The most common and frankly most effective starting point is a team of 3. You've got the coder to do the heavy lifting, the reviewer to double-check the work, and a user proxy or PM to be the voice of the user and steer the ship.
Okay, so let's make this super practical. Here is your first mission. I want you to design your own 3-agent crew, but for writing a blog post. So you'll need, say, an analyst to do the research, a writer to get that first draft down, and a sharp editor to polish it up. Really think about it. What specific instructions would you give each of them?
And hey, let's have some fun with this. Give your agent some personality. For your editor agent, what's its backstory? What makes it super picky and meticulous? Is it a grizzled, old-school newspaper editor who's seen it all? I want to hear your best ideas. Drop them in the comments.
You see, this is the fundamental shift we're talking about. The future of working with AI isn't about crafting that one perfect, magical prompt. It's about designing and managing the perfect team to go after problems we never could have solved before. So the real question is, are you ready to make that leap?
Join the teamwork revolution. If this explainer helped you level up your thinking, do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe to Study Buddy with Notebook LM. We're here to guide you through it all. Now go build something incredible. Stay agentic.